Picture this. You walk right into a massive casino. The lights are flashing, bells are ringing, and the energy is absolutely electric. It feels like a place of endless possibility, right? Well, actually, underneath all that noise, it's a cold, calculated machine. It's designed by mathematicians, psychologists, and billion-dollar companies to ensure one absolute reality: the house wins. Every single element is engineered to slowly take your money over time. But welcome to this explainer, because today we're going to dive into the unbelievable true story of how one man legally pulled off a massive heist against the seemingly impenetrable system, turning the tables on the casinos and walking out a multimillionaire.
So it begs the question, how do you actually beat an unbeatable system? You know, for decades, the gambling industry has basically operated on the assumption that they simply cannot be beaten. Casinos are meticulously engineered so that the house always holds the ultimate advantage. They're like fortresses of probability. But our story today starts with a completely opposite outcome, proving that even the most tightly sealed systems have cracks if you know exactly where to look.
$15 million in just a few short months. A single individual walked out of Atlantic City titans like Tropicana, Borgata, and Caesars with over $15 million in winnings. I mean, he struck absolute fear into the hearts of casino executives everywhere. And here's the most astonishing part of the whole shebang. He did it without ever cheating, without relying on illegal devices, and, believe it or not, without relying on luck.
Let's move into part one, not your average gambler.
Now, when you picture a multi-million-dollar casino heist, you're probably imagining some flashy card sharks straight out of a Hollywood movie. But our mastermind, Don Johnson, was the exact opposite. Look at the typical gambler. They play emotionally, they chase their losses in a panic, and they rely on sheer hope. But Johnson, he possessed a dangerously measured approach. He was remarkably calm, incredibly disciplined, and he relied purely on the math.
You see, before his infamous run, Johnson actually built his expertise by analyzing computerized betting and parimutuel pools in the horse racing industry. So because of that background, when he walked onto a casino floor, he didn't see flashing lights or magical opportunities. He just saw math, probability, and most importantly, systemic weaknesses that were just waiting to be exploited.
Which brings us to part two, understanding the house edge.
Okay, we've all heard the phrase, the house always wins, right? Well, the entire industry rests on this house edge. It's basically that built-in mathematical advantage, ensuring the casino almost always comes out on top over thousands of games. Casinos really don't sweat your short-term victories. They just rely on absolute mathematical certainty and endless patience. They know they'll get it back.
But, and this is absolutely crucial, casinos don't just wait around for the math to work. They actively accelerate this edge through psychology. They push players into emotional failures, trapping them in this carefully engineered cycle. They encourage you to stay longer. They hand out free drinks to cloud your judgment, and they quietly promote bigger, way more reckless risks. And then, they just capitalize as players frantically chase those losses. It's a brilliant but totally ruthless trap.
Let's look at part three, rewriting the casino rules.
Most people just accept the house rules, right? But Johnson realized something incredible. Even tiny tweaks to those rules could completely destroy the house edge. Think back to the years following the 2008 financial crisis. Atlantic City casinos were bleeding revenue. They were severely damaged and grew desperate for wealthy VIP players. Well, Johnson saw this desperation as a very rare vulnerability. Before he even played a single hand, he aggressively negotiated custom playing conditions, creating a perfect storm that allowed him to extract millions over just a few months.
So what did he actually ask for? He capitalized on their desperation by securing better blackjack rules and massive loss rebates. He got a 20% loss rebate. That literally means if he lost, the casino refunded a fifth of his money. On top of that, he secured huge $100,000 table limits and favorable betting conditions, like the right to split and double down on good hands. He wasn't relying on luck at all. He was mathematically shifting the edge to his side of the table. For the first time, the casino's advantage was dangerously small.
Moving right along to part four, the multi-million-dollar execution.
The casinos fully expected a high roller to come in, drink heavily, bet emotionally, and take huge reckless risks. But instead, they got a man who stayed perfectly calm. Night after night, Johnson followed strict discipline, totally ignored the free drinks, and relied entirely on math. And his ultimate superpower, he knew exactly when to walk away. He treated blackjack like a cold corporate negotiation, stripping all human emotion right off the table. The results were catastrophic for the house.
His discipline was so unbreakable that the Tropicana Casino alone lost over $5 million to him in a stunningly short period. Others lost millions more right after. It was a bloodbath.
And here is the absolute craziest part. Executives watched in horror as millions just vanished into thin air. They scrutinized his every move, expecting to find hidden devices, marked cards, or illegal card counting. But then they realized a terrifying truth. He wasn't cheating at all. He was flawlessly executing the system they had unknowingly handed to him through their own desperate negotiations. It was just probability, favorable conditions, and ironclad discipline.
And that brings us to our final section, Part 5, Mastering Life's Hidden Systems.
Now, obviously, the casinos panicked and quickly pulled those special deals to patch up their vulnerability. But the deeper lesson from this explainer extends way, way beyond the blackjack tables of Atlantic City. Think about it. Every single day, we blindly navigate massive systems we don't fully understand. We're talking money systems, business hierarchies, digital algorithms, and the debt systems governing our economies. We put ourselves at a constant disadvantage, just like that typical emotional gambler, simply because we blindly accept the rules as they are handed to us.
Ultimately, Don Johnson proved that extreme success really isn't about getting lucky. It's about studying the rules deeply until you understand them better than the very people who wrote them. Sometimes, truly understanding a system is far more powerful than blindly fighting it. Because at the end of the day, the most dangerous person in any room or any system is the one who actually understands how the invisible gears are turning.
So as we wrap up, I want to leave you with this final thought to ponder today. Which hidden games in your life are you currently playing without really knowing the rules? If you want to stop leaving things to chance, well, you have to start studying the system. Thank you so much for joining this explainer, and keep decoding the world around you.